Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Very rowdy group. Thank you, my friends. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much for being here. And I love you all, too. Last night, I congratulated Donald Trump and offered to work with him on behalf of our country. I hope that he will be a successful president for all Americans. This is not the outcome we wanted or we worked so hard for, and I'm sorry that we did not win this election for the values we share and the vision we hold for our country. But I feel pride and gratitude for this wonderful campaign that we built together, this vast, diverse, creative, unruly, energized campaign. You represent the best of America, and being your candidate has been one of the greatest honors of my life. I know how disappointed you feel because I feel it too. And so do tens of millions of Americans who invested their hopes and dreams in this effort. This is painful, and it will be for a long time. But I want you to remember this. Our campaign was never about one person or even one election. It was about the country we love and about building an America that's hopeful, inclusive, and big-hearted. We have seen that our nation is more deeply divided than we thought. But I still believe in America, and I always will. And if you do, then we must accept this result and then look to the future. Donald Trump is going to be our president. We owe him an open mind and the chance to lead. Our constitutional democracy enshrines the peaceful transfer of power. And we don't just respect that, we cherish it. It also enshrines other things: the rule of law, the principle that we are all equal in rights and dignity, freedom of worship and expression. We respect and cherish these values too, and we must defend them. And let me add, our constitutional democracy demands our participation, not just every 4 years, but all the time. So let's do all we can to keep advancing the causes and values we all hold dear, making our economy work for everyone, not just those at the top, protecting our country and protecting our planet, and breaking down all the barriers that hold any American back from achieving their dreams. We've spent a year and a half bringing together millions of people from every corner of our country to say with one voice that we believe that the American dream is big enough for everyone, for people of all races and religions, for men and women, for immigrants, for LGBT people and people with disabilities, for everyone. So now our responsibility as citizens is to keep doing our part to build that better, stronger, fairer America we seek. and I know you will. I am so grateful to stand with all of you. I want to thank Tim Kaine and Ann Holton for being our partners on this journey. It has been a joy getting to know them better, and it gives me great hope and comfort to know that Tim will remain on the front lines of our democracy, representing Virginia in the Senate. To Barack and Michelle Obama, our country owes you an enormous debt of gratitude. We thank you for your graceful, determined leadership that has meant so much to so many Americans and people across the world. And to Bill and Chelsea, Mark, Charlotte, Aiden, our brothers and our entire family, my love for you means more than I can ever express. You crisscrossed this country on our behalf and lifted me up when I needed it most, even 4-month-old Aiden, who traveled with his mom. I will always be grateful to the creative, talented, dedicated men and women at our headquarters in Brooklyn and across our country. You poured your hearts into this campaign. For some of you who are veterans, it was a campaign after you had done other campaigns. Some of you, it was your first campaign. I want each of you to know that you were the best campaign anybody could have ever expected or wanted. And to the millions of volunteers, community leaders, activists, and union organizers who knocked on doors, talked to neighbors, posted on Facebook, even in secret, private Facebook sites. I want everybody coming out from behind that, and make sure your voices are heard going forward. To everyone who sent in contributions as small as $5 and kept us going, thank you. Thank you from all of us. And to the young people in particular, I hope you will hear this. I have, as Tim said, spent my entire adult life fighting for what I believe in. I've had successes and I've had setbacks, sometimes really painful ones. Many of you are at the beginning of your professional, public, and political careers. You will have successes and setbacks too. This loss hurts, but please never stop believing that fighting for what's right is worth it. It is worth it. And so we need you to keep up these fights now and for the rest of your lives. And to all the women, and especially the young women, who put their faith in this campaign and in me, I want you to know that nothing has made me prouder than to be your champion. I know we have still not shattered that highest and hardest glass ceiling, but someday someone will, and hopefully sooner than we might think right now. And to all the little girls who are watching this, never doubt that you are valuable and powerful and deserving of every chance and opportunity in the world to pursue and achieve your own dreams. Finally, I am so grateful for our country and for all it has given to me. I count my blessings every single day that I am an American. And I still believe, as deeply as I ever have, that if we stand together and work together with respect for our differences, strength in our convictions, and love for this nation, our best days are still ahead of us. Because I believe we are stronger together and we will go forward together. And you should never, ever regret fighting for that. Scripture tells us, let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. So, my friends, let us have faith in each other. Let us not grow weary. Let us not lose heart. For there are more seasons to come, and there is more work to do. I am incredibly honored and grateful to have had this chance to represent all of you in this consequential election. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
That was Hillary Clinton in her first comments to the nation, to her family, to her supporters. She said it was painful and will be painful for a long time. But she said we also owe Donald Trump an open mind and reminding us that this country respects the rule of law, the right to disagree, and the freedom of worship. Her own testimony to her belief in the country as she leaves her dream to be president.
It was interesting how she made a point of saying that she reached out to Donald Trump last night and that she offered to work with him on behalf of our country. She apologized for not winning, but she feels pride and gratitude for the campaign that they built together. She thanked her staff profusely and her supporters and her family. It was really very touching to hear from her.
This was a history-making candidacy and campaign. She was the first female nominee of either party. She had hoped to become the first female president in our nation's history. And I think she tried to, while this was clearly a very painful moment, she said this loss hurts and it's going to hurt for a long time. She tried to open it up about what this moment means and provide some hope.
That's right. And it was clearly with an eye towards history that she made two important points. One was about the value of public service, and particularly to younger people watching. We talked a lot about the younger voters and their sense of inspiration or not with the Clinton campaign. And when she talked about there will always be setbacks, but keep fighting for those things you believe in. That's that connection between a candidate and all the people who spend all of their time volunteering for them. And then her second message was to the young women, young girls, arguing that just because she was unable to break the glass ceiling, that they have value and worth, sending a kind of special message there, again with an eye towards history, recognizing that this is a moment, this might be replayed, that she had a message to send that was outside of the context of this campaign.
No, but to little girls, never doubt who you are. You're valuable, you're powerful and deserving of achieving your own dreams, your best days. She said, my best days and your best days are still ahead.
It was also an affirmation of all the values of this country that she so deeply believes in, because this is a woman who's given much of her life to public service.
She has, and remember, I mean, in her campaign biography, she has spent more than 30 years in public life, working for children, working for families. Most, of us who might think of Hillary Clinton might just not even think of her time as First Lady, but think of some of the more controversial things like the Benghazi episode. But she has been involved in public service for most of her lifetime. And I think while she did not achieve that, as she put it, that symbolic of crashing through the glass ceiling that has prevented women from achieving the top posts, not only in politics, but across many different fields. What she didn't say, but she did allude to, is that the popular vote, there are currently at this hour 59,442,911 small cracks in that glass ceiling, and it's more votes than Donald Trump in the popular vote.
Number just changed as you said that. Tim Kaine didn't. Tim Kaine mentioned it though.
Yeah, it was nice how he opened up with that.
She also said and reminded us the American dream is for everybody: men and women, immigrants, the LGBT community, and the disabled.
I love that Tim Kaine opened it up by pointing out, listen, she won the popular vote. There's something to be said about that. And quoting Faulkner, they killed us, but they ain't whipped us yet. The work remains.
Well, they realize, too, they're currently, along with Barack Obama, the leaders of the Democratic Party, and that they've got to move forward a party, a group of supporters who at this point are demoralized, who are about to, most of them haven't slept on, are about to go home and pull the covers over their heads. And so they have to provide a note of hope. And Barack Obama is also going to do that when we hear from him in about the next half hour from the White House Rose Garden.
And the question remains, what will Hillary Clinton do next? That's what I'm curious to see. What is her next chapter?
I think she's going to spend a lot of time with her grandchildren.
Yeah,
That's
not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. It's hard to imagine her, though, not in public service. It'll be.
Does Donald Trump ask for her help, do you think, John?
Well, as I was wantonly speculating there, it is perhaps later for one of those kinds of missions.
Yeah. Grace. President Obama is expected to make remarks from the White House in the next half hour. Scott Pelley will bring those to you in another special report.
Our coverage will continue throughout the day on our 24-hour streaming network, that's CBSN, and there will be a complete wrap-up tonight on a special one-hour-long CBS Evening News.
This has been a CBS News Special Report. I'm Charlie Rose with Gail King, Nora O'Donnell, and John Dickerson. CBS News, New York.
For news 24 hours a day, go to CBSNews.com.